Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu. Nahmaduhu wa nusalli wa nusallimu ala rasulihil kareem. No voice, huh? Very low. Can someone find Brother Jamal here? Maybe you can turn the volume up. Brother Jamal, can you? Yeah, Ramzi, please. La ilaha Is it up now? A bit more? Bismillah wa salatu wa salamu ala rasulillah. Amma ba'd. Oh, volume come in. فأعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. إن الأبرار لفي نعيم وإن الفجار لفي جحيم. Dear respected brothers and sisters, many things are happening, those that are taking place and those that will be after when we die, and there are those that are going to take place on the Day of Judgment. Can you hear me? Yeah. Brothers and sisters in the back? Okay? All right. So there is no way that we could know about it ourselves. Whatever is happening and what happened and what will happen in the future. If Allah didn't give the ilm, the knowledge to Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and if he would not pass it down to us, we would have not known. We wouldn't know that there is going to be a garden in the grave, or will be a pit of Jahannam or pit of hellfire in the grave. We wouldn't know there is something called Jannah and Jahannam, unimaginable rewards and unimaginable punishment. We wouldn't know. We wouldn't know what action is good and what action is bad. Maybe we are doing bad and we are thinking this is good, and we're doing good and we're thinking this is bad. We don't know. So this is Allah's hikmah, Allah's wisdom, that He gave knowledge and the wahi to Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and He conveyed to His students, His companions, radiyallahu anhum ajma'in, and till us, it reached till us to know what to accept and what not to accept, what to do and what not to do. Even on earth and this life, Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam told us about this, that we wouldn't not know. There are so many things that if he wouldn't have told us, we wouldn't have came up with it. So there's a hadith in Sahih Muslim, a long hadith, inshallah, I'll do in two parts. Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, "At-tuhuru shatrul iman." Purity is a part of iman, of our faith. And in another narration, it is said, "At-tuhuru nisful iman," that tahara and purity is half of iman. And most of us, we have heard this hadith many times. When someone makes wudu, ablution, or someone takes a shower, we know that purity is a state that he or she feels tranquil, in peace, fresh. You know, someone say, okay, I'm going to go and freshen up. Take a shower, clean, and then a person feels that lightness. He has entered into a state of purity. And on the other hand, when we are impure, we enter into a state of impurity. And when we are in a state of impurity, we feel heaviness. We feel a burden into ourselves. But we simply take a shower or we simply make wudu, that burden and that heaviness goes away. We feel in peace, we feel light. All the heaviness, all types of heaviness goes away. So this was our external impurity, right? We pure ourselves externally, how? By making wudu or by taking a shower. And the same things go to our internal impurity. When a person lies, when a person backbites, when a person uses words that he's not supposed to use, abusive words, a person slanders, a person is involved in interest, riba, whatever it is. A person involves himself in the disobedience of Allah and the disobedience of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. When a true Muslim commits a sin, after that a person feels guilty and dirty. That is a sign of Iman. That's a good sign. Because we're human beings, we can fall into sins. We try our level best not to do, but it happens. But once that happens, we feel dirty, we feel guilty. We feel so angry on ourselves that why did I do this? And this is a good sign. So if a person falls, into internal impurity, and because of choosing that way, a person always feels that burden. A person always feels that guilty in him. So Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam tells us to remain pure all the time, externally and internally. Once we are pure, we will feel that that we are close to Allah Azza wa Jal, and that we will have more ladhat and more taste in ibadat, in worship of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And it is not only about making wudu or taking a shower to become pure. It is the life of a Muslim that his body, his clothes, but even every part should be pure. Each and everything should be pure. Because when a person is clean, his environment, his surroundings are clean. So we need to work really hard to attain this purity. And when we look at the life of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and he spoke about the purities in a different levels, right? Level on personal cleanliness, individual cleanliness, right? There's many ahadith regarding that. of our, cleanliness of our body, meaning removing the extra hair, armpits, our private area, our nails, brushing the teeth. This is all purity, that level. And Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam described all this as Sunanul Huda in the hadith. This is Sunanul Huda. Another level of purity which Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam informed us about, the impurity, this, that coming towards us in the body, like covering our clothes, covering our body with clothes, right? That is also purity. Where we stand, where we live, where we sit, where we sleep, that area should be pure, clean. That is another level of impurity. Another level of impurity is mentioned that sometimes a person feels a burden to relieve himself. So once a person goes and relieves himself and does cleanliness and istinja, how peace and how light a person feels. Subhanallah, this is a blessing of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, that we go into the bathroom and we relieve ourselves. Subhanallah, this is a blessing. Look at those people who have this kind of a problem. They cannot relieve themselves. Then they have to go to the hospital, and then it's a painful procedure. And this is one of the blessings. That is why there's a dua, when we go in and ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to protect us from the shayateen, and then when we come out, what do we say? When we relieve them, so we say, Alhamdulillahi alladhi adhaba anni al-adha wa afani. That Alhamdulillah, Allah has removed this filth and nijasa from me, wa afani, and gave me afiyat. That I'm doing it by myself. This is from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, right? So the person feels that burden, and all of a sudden, a person comes out, makes wudu or make a ghusl, all of a sudden that burden, that heaviness goes away. So different types of levels that Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam mentioned about the tahara. Different level of purity externally and different level of purity of internally. So Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam mentioned the first thing. It's a long hadith, as I said, I will break it up. So first is at-tuhuru shatrul iman, or nisful iman, is a part of our iman. Why? Because the worship that we do of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is a condition that you need to be in purity. And what is that purity is? Whether it's wudu or ghusl. Otherwise, your worship will not be accepted. Salah will not be accepted. If you do not have wudu, you cannot even touch the Quran. You cannot read. You cannot hold the Quran. So there are so many things that is. We cannot make tawaf. We're in the masjid. Tawaf, we need to have wudu. All these things are connected. At-tuhuru shat nisful iman, as in another hadith. That tahara is a half of our deen, because half is what? Ibadat. Number 2, Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, "At-tuhuru shatrul iman, walhamdulillah tamla'ul mizan." That by saying Alhamdulillah, Subhanallah, when saying Alhamdulillah, Subhanallah, when we do dhikr of Allah, Subhanallah, Alhamdulillah, Allahu Akbar, La ilaha illallah, Subhanallah wa bihamdihi, Subhanallah al-azim, we usually don't see the effect. We're just saying it. And sometimes Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala shows the effect, the result of it. Sometimes. But the real effect is going to be, where we're going to be seen? In the akhirah, in the hereafter. When our a'mal will be weighed. The last hadith in Sahih Bukhari, Imam Bukhari rahimullah brought it. Kalimatani khafifatan. There are 2 words that are very light to the tongue, not heavy. And there are 2 words that are beloved to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And these words will be weighed, will be heavy on the scale in the hereafter. Even though they're light on the tongue, but they'll be heavy on the scale when there will be wazn. What are those? Subhanallahi wa bihamdihi, Subhanallah al-azim. But subhanallah here, alhamdulillah, tamla'ul mizan. By saying alhamdulillah, it is very unique. This word is alhamdulillah is very unique that it fills the scale. Tamla'ul mizan. But here we're saying alhamdulillah, nothing happens. We're in the house, we say alhamdulillah and we blow into the fridge fills up, the freezer fills up. No. But on the hereafter, the wazn, the scale that we have, the good deeds, it will be heavy. But here, when you say alhamdulillah, there's no effort. It's so easy. The huruf, the letters that Allah has, alif, lam, ha, mim, by saying these, very light into the tongue. And we can say it like hundreds of times, we will never get tired. Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, "Walhamdulillah tamla'ul mizan." But by practicing this word, subhanallah, we don't even sometimes, Imam, we say, okay, alhamdulillah. What is alhamdulillah? What we think is, okay, we are just, thanking Allah. Yeah, that is one thing, one part of it. But there are so many diseases that is coming out from our heart. We remove these type of diseases by just saying alhamdulillah. Hasad, jealousy goes away. Jealousy. What is jealousy? We all know. By looking at someone, we're not happy of what Allah has given to that person. But what we have for ourselves is alhamdulillah. So hasad, jealousy goes from our heart. Right? Contentment. Qana'at. Contentment comes into our heart. That we are content of what we have. We don't worry about others. By practicing alhamdulillah, pride, arrogance, all this goes away. By just saying alhamdulillah, and many other things. This will fill the scales of justice on the day of judgment. And as mentioned, subhanallah, walhamdulillah, tamla'an. So these two words, subhanallah, alhamdulillah, these both tamla'an fills up. And tamla'u ma bayna as-sama'i wal ard. These words, by saying subhanallah, alhamdulillah, it fills up between whatever is in the heaven and the earth. Subhanallah. Ajib. So powerful these words are. The distance, whatever the distance between them, will fill up all of that, all the in reward. This is the dhikr of Allah, and this is the dhikr which the malaika do. فَسَبِّحْ بِحَمْدِكَ وَنُقَدِّسُ لَكَ. That is mentioned in Surah Al-Baqarah. Right? So, brothers and sisters, at-tuhuru shatrul iman, remember this. Always remain in the state of purity. Just story just came in my mind when Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam went to Mi'raj, and then he heard some footsteps. Remember this? He heard some footsteps going, the noise of those footsteps. He asked Jibreel alayhi salam, whose footsteps? He said, Bilal radiyallahu anhu. So when he came down and he asked Bilal, I heard your footsteps in Jannah. So Bilal radiyallahu anhu said, Ya Rasulullah, I don't know what it is, but yes, whatever I do is that my habit is that whenever I'm in this, when I have to break my wudu, I have to relieve myself, I always remain in the state of wudu. I make an effort to stay in the state of wudu, always. Whether I have to pray or not, whether I have to recite the Quran or not, but I'm always in the state of wudu. Number one. Number two is, when I make a wudu, I make tahiyyatul wudu of 2 rakat. This is my habit. Subhanallah, right? So khair. At-tuhuru shatrul iman. Number two is what? Dhikr. Subhanallah, alhamdulillah. Ramadan is coming. Make an effort. Do extra. Increase in dhikr. Number three. Inshallah, this is going to be enough. We don't have that much time. Wa akhiru da'wana and alhamdulillahi rabbil alamin. Before ending, today, as we have announced that today is going to be halaqah, inshallah, and in halaqah I will be not talking too much, little bit, but mostly we're going to focus on Q&A, question and answer regarding Ramadan. So dedicated for Ramadan. So please join us, inshallah. And on Sunday at 2 p.m., on Sunday, this Sunday, we have a workshop for zakah. So please join, brothers and sisters, both are welcome. Please come learn about it, what zakah is. Those brothers and sisters whose zakah is fard upon them, it is fard to get some knowledge. Zakah is not just calculating, just give it away. No, you need to know the masail, the basic things, what zakah is, how to calculate, who to give, who not to give, all this. It is like salah. We have to know our basic. Salah becomes obligatory, so how to make wudu, what is the requirements in salah, out of salah, all this we need to know. So the same thing with zakah, right? It's the same thing with hajj and fasting. So inshallah we will have a bit detailed. About 2 p.m. we'll start. Inshallah, I will try to end it before Maghrib, and then inshallah we have dinner as well. Inshallah. Jazakallah.
Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar. Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar. Ashhadu an la ilaha illallah. أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله. أشهد أن محمدا رسول الله. أشهد أن محمدا رسول الله.